Am I the a-hole for throwing away the elf on the shelf and ruining Christmas for my kids after my husband's prank? For context, this year was the first time we would try the elf on the shelf with our kids. We have 3 kids, Lucas, 9M, Andy, 8M, and Claire, 5F. Where Lucas and Andy are from our past relationships. However, Miles, my husband M37, has accepted Andy as his, and so did I, F35, Lucas. Every Christmas is special for Andy, his BD is on deck/24. His dad started a tradition where Santa would have consideration with him for being a kid of Christmas. So he feels magical and special. I always try to give him that. Last year, I left Santa Claus footsteps, ate a carrot and grass he left for Rudolph. Stuff like that. My husband doesn't think it's a good idea I do all that for him, and I'm showing favoritism. So, we should shut it down, because of my ex's decision to create a tradition without considering my other kids' feelings. I disagree since I do consider the 3 of them. But he asked if we could sew SMTH else, like the elf on the shelf. I had no problem with it, but I didn't know how that works. He explained me quickly, and since he was the one who offered, I let him do it. We bought the cute elf. My kids named it Bob. Later my husband explained them they should behave, and never touch/hold Bob if they don't want it to be naughty. At first, it was cute to see them spy on Bob, try to see it fly each night. Andy was the most excited of all. I found him one night talking with it, asking it if Santa still remembered him. But my husband took seriously the behave or Bob would be naughty part. Lucas was his first victim after he didn't do his chores. The next day, his face was drawn with Sharpie markers. Then Claire, who touched Bob and her fave onesie was destroyed. Apparently, Bob had cut some pieces of it, while she was sleeping. Miles was having fun, but I could see my kids weren't. I talked to him about how we should lower the pranks. He agreed but wanted to catch Andy since he hadn't break any rules. I told him that Bob's supposed to tell Santa instead of being naughty. We argued but he finally agreed. Fast forward, it's Christmas Eve and in the afternoon we had some of Andy's friends to celebrate his BD. So the kids were playing in backyard. But my husband looked Seuss. I decided to look for Bob. It was supposed to be in the kitchen but it wasn't there. I asked Miles where it was and he told me no idea. I started getting paranoid, but Andy asked me if we could cut the cake already. I put my best face on and went for it. The cake was in a box, and when Andy opened the box, he starts crying. I take a look and it's ruined. Bob was covered in all of it, appearing he had been eating the cake. Half of the cake wasn't there anymore. Miles starts laughing and so did some of the other parents. My blood is boiling and I grab Bob and throw it in the trash, then I grabbed Miles. We have a terrible argument, calls me an off for what I did to Bob, that I've ruined it. How are we supposed to keep the magic with our kids if I wasn't supposed to touch Bob?